Hello, everyone. No, I want to do something different. No, wait. Start over. You ready? I'm going to break your heart. Salutations! Welcome back to Open Arms Reactions. My name is Casper Fox. This is Mortius, and today we are here with more RWBY.
I can't believe you've done this.
That is heartbreaking. You're a bad man, but I am so excited to be back taking you through RWBY and the world of Remnant. So, this is going to be a very lore-dense episode because we are going to be checking out 6 different videos in this video, Casper. There is one World of Remnant from Volume 3 that, in the craziness of that finale, I completely forgot to share with you. Then, there is a character short that I wanted to share that they actually released as a Volume 4 trailer. And then there are 4 more World of Remnants. Isn't that exciting? So,
that's awesome.
It's been quite a bit of time since we watched through Volume 3 in the real world, even though it's only been a couple weeks for you folks on YouTube. What have you been thinking since then? Like, that's obviously just an absolutely baffling finale that we went through, but what kind of thoughts have you even been going through?
My feed has been so many RWBY edits, significantly, like, funnily enough, only from Volume 3, not anything of the futures. That's good. I have been wondering, especially since we, literally, a few days ago, if not last night, it's Thursday, so it was Tuesday when on YouTube, the finale of Volume 3 premiered on YouTube. It was like our biggest RWBY premiere yet, which was awesome. So I was there for the entire thing, and I was watching it back, and the character of Yang is really intriguing to me now, missing or losing a part of herself in the whole... I almost want to call it a subplot, the subplot of the mother watching over her from that bird, and of course a little terrifying with the whole new villain. But honestly, it's been mostly Yang that's been on my mind.
Interesting.
How that's gonna work.
Well, I'm really excited to see what you think of things, but obviously that's going to be a little more for Volume 4. Right now, we've got our in-between bits, starting with World of Remnant Episode 8, The Four Maidens.
Oh, okay. I'm excited to hear about that.
Let's do it.
Deep in the forests of Remnant, beside a great and mighty river, stood the small, fragile home of a cold, frail man. A lone wizard. Hidden from the dangers and distractions of the world, the wizard seldom had visitors. But on this day, as he peered out his window, his gaze fell upon a young maiden.
So, as a reminder, since it has been a little bit, we were given context with the conversation with Pyrrha, rest in peace, that this was a pre-existing fairy tale in this world.
Yeah, so, that then turned legend, and then they didn't believe it.
Well, actually, kind of the opposite order. It was like a story turned legend turned fairy tale, because Pyrrha didn't believe that it actually existed. And then Crow gave that line about, like, all fairy tales come from somewhere. Where do you think the legends come from, or however he phrases it? So I remember when this came out, there was a lot of speculation of like how much of this is the fantasticalized version and how much of this is the actual version, and which version would Ozpin even know, blah, 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 blah. So I'm definitely interested in your thoughts within that. Also, this isn't one of the ones we have from Soul with captions. This is from the actual RWBY one, and they don't have captions. So audio processing issues go Bert.
Calmly she sat beneath his tree, in a state of absolute tranquility. When the wizard demanded an explanation, the maiden simply replied, "My name is Winter. I am on a journey, and I am waiting for my sisters."
Okay,
that
sounds familiar.
She closed her eyes and sat in silence. The wizard told himself the girl was a fool, but the longer she sat, the more he wished to share in the serenity the young maiden enjoyed. In time, he grew tired and decided to close his eyes as well, thinking on this strange predicament. Upon opening his eyes, the wizard was befuddled to find that a second maiden had appeared beneath his tree, cheerful and spry, with a basket of fruit and flowers. When he asked for an explanation, the girl simply replied, "My name is Spring. I am on a journey, and I am waiting for my sisters." To show her gratitude for his reluctant hospitality, the girl retrieved a handful of seeds from her basket and planted them in the wizard's garden.
Wow.
The old hermit could hardly believe his eyes as the maiden turned what was once a mere pile of dirt and manure into a beautiful garden from which life would surely blossom. It's likely he would have gazed for hours, were it not for the unfamiliar laughter he heard from beneath his tree.
Fall?
A young woman with a...
Isn't this really interesting? I love the art style of the World of Remnants,
Oh my
by
God,
the way.
dude,
It's so
dude,
cute.
love it.
But yeah, any thoughts specifically so far?
Yeah, I mean, I love, especially because we can see, like, I love when as you say with the art style, that like we're disconnected visually from the main series of RWBY, but with familiarities like Ozpin being the narrator, for example, right, is a really, really nice touch. I took between the last Remnants, World of Remnants we did, and now. I actually took inspiration from this and did the same thing for Stories from Styx in the thread view, where I took a lot of inspiration from both the animation, but also just how storytelling-wise and how you can do that with world building. I think it's an incredible concept. It's like very, very creatively done by the RWBY team, for sure.
Absolutely agreed. It's a great way to give more just oomph to the universe.
A warm smile now stood beside the two maidens. The wizard begged her to introduce herself, to which she happily responded, "My name is Summer. I am on a journey, and I am waiting for my sister." Of course.
Like how you were like, oh, is this fall? Yes, iconically, winter, spring, fall. That's how seasons work.
Oh, it was, well, because she doesn't look like summer. She's like dark.
I know, I get what you're saying. She does like the appearance, the sort of darker like purples, but it is funny that it was like, I'm winter, I'm spring. New girl shows up, Casper, fall.
Thought the wizard. But another chirp of laughter left the old man perplexed. What in the world was so funny? As it turned out, it was him. The new arrival found the wizard's insistence on staying indoors so very amusing. Why choose to view the world through a small window when the door leading out to it was right at his side? It was a compelling argument, and after only a moment of brief hesitation, the wizard left his home and stepped outside.
Okay.
The sun brought with it a surge of energy and life, and soon the wizard wasn't feeling much like himself anymore. He was feeling much better. As the day drew to a close, the maidens and the wizard all settled down and prepared a feast. Winter set the table. Spring supplied the crops. Summer prepped the meal, and the wizard was the happiest he'd been in ages. But in all the excitement, he nearly failed to notice the delicate woman that now stood beneath his tree.
Rain season.
He smiled and beckoned her to join them, asking only for her name. "My name is Fall," she replied softly. "I am on a journey and am here to meet my sisters. Who are you?" "Me?" the wizard wondered. "Well, I am but an old hermit. I have lived in these woods alone for centuries.
That's not Ozpin,
I'm afraid my story is not very interesting, as I have no one to love and nothing to my name." The eldest sister looked up at all that surrounded them. "But sir, do you not see? You have so much." It was true. With their help, it was now clear to see that the wizard had everything he could ever need. He was grateful, but a question lingered in his mind. "Why me?" he asked. "Why did the four of you choose to open my eyes, to share with me your gifts? Why am I so special?" The four sisters looked to one another, perplexed. Finally, the eldest spoke. "I beg your pardon, sir, but we did not do these things for you because you were special. We do what we can for everyone, because we are able." The old wizard was at a loss.
I know, right?
That's
the
really
idea
sweet.
that like he's so in his own world that he's like, why have you chosen to come and break me out of this? And they're like, this is just what we do because we can. Is so beautiful and so important.
Lovely.
Never in his years had he come across such kindness. It was in that moment that he knew what should be done. The wizard summoned his magic, every ounce he could muster, and bestowed it upon the sisters.
They were doing that for people before they were even the maidens.
How the hell? Damn, so they must have been pretty powerful even before being bestowed with this gift.
Seemingly,
Yeah.
or just generous and smart and work together.
Well, for sure, but there are just certain aspects with like they're literally summoning the seasons as they come. Like they seem like to be personifications or aspects of those very seasons, magically anyway.
Fair.
He smiled. Take this gift, and know now that you are able to do so much more. Now, armed with the elements, the very powers of nature, and the unimaginable magic of the wizard, the Four Maidens, winter, spring, summer, and fall, promise to carry onward with their journey, using their gifts to aid others, just as they
Can you pause?
him.
Yes.
So Cinder uses fire powers essentially, which makes it seem like, are we specified which maiden is in the main RWBY series? Like, is it like which season?
Like
Of the four
she
that
absorbed.
Pura was?
Yeah. We learned that was fall.
Okay. That's very interesting because I feel like the Summer Maiden is a better fit for Cinder, and the Fall Maiden reminds me of RWBY's like rose petal semblance more with those like leaves in a sense, right? And then very on the nose, winter, Schnee, obviously.
Of course, yes.
But the spring one, nothing comes to mind with that as of this moment.
One by one, the sisters left. But before they did, they made one final promise. They promised to return each and every year to visit their dear friend.
Aww, how lovely.
And that's the story of the Four Seasons.
I love that so much. Oh, Nightmare.
Hi, Miles. Hello again. So, that is the story of the Four Seasons, and therefore the story of the Four Maidens.
Peak.
Do you have any thoughts?
Not that I've already said, no. I love that. I love this world building stuff. It's
Me
so
too.
cool.
You said one thing halfway through that we didn't pause on that I'm curious if you have other thoughts on, because there was a lot of speculation. I'm not going to say anything in either direction. There was one point where you go, this isn't Ozpin, is it?
Because the Wizard of Oz, I feel like that could potentially
And like
be
the
him.
green overlap. Yeah, no, there was a lot of speculation after this. I don't even remember what team I was on at that point. It's been so long. But yes, that is the story of the Four Maidens. And if you don't have any other thoughts, I think we can hop into Volume 4. This is a character short that was released just to kind of pad the gap. There was a big gap between Volume 3 and Volume 4, between just production things. Of course, the loss of Monty, trying to figure out where things were going. And so there was a big gap between 3 and 4, and this was kind of released as like a, look, we're still making it, things are cool, things are going good, and it's a very cool trailer. And as we kind of talked a little off screen, you're gonna see here that the animation style is different, but we can kind of talk about that. Let's see what you think of this. Because this is really the first bit of Volume 4 we ever got. That last World of Remnant was still technically Volume 3.
Right. And there's Ruby's hood. Is that Ruby's mom? That could just be Ruby. Oh, shit. Wait a minute.
What's up?
What was Ruby's mom's name again? Wasn't it Summer Rose?
Anyways. See, like, the shadow particles coming off of them?
Hell yeah.
Catch a ride! You probably don't get that reference either.
Okay. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
But that's not the same theme.
No, it is not. It's the
So
same
this is
instrument
probably
and
summer.
same notes, but it's not the dun 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 da 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 da. It's like same key, same notes, same everything, but not the same melody.
So this is telling me this is a young Summer Rose.
Interesting.
Or maybe not a young, but this is because if it's like, if we're
Similar
baited to
vibe,
think
but
this
not
is RWBY, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but Summer Rose's robe was white, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Summer Rose did have a
Yeah.
white cloak. You might be overthinking it. It's just RWBY.
Okay. Oh, okay. Fair.
Look at the visuals, my dude.
It's fire. What?
What's up, Casper?
That's a whole new way of controlling her semblance or some shit.
Yes, it is.
That's nuts. Oh my god. Dude, I know that everyone loves Volume 3 and all that stuff like that. This is the most dynamic fight scene I've seen in the series so far.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's incredible.
hands down.
The best way I can kind of say it is like, Volumes 1 through 3 feel like an anime, Volumes 4 and beyond feel like a video game. Like, the way that it goes, it feels like video game combat, but in the best way.
Have you seen K-pop Demon Hunters?
Not yet.
Oh, okay, it's really
you?
good. Yes, I have.
I can't believe you didn't do a reaction to it.
I am not fucking with Netflix.
Real.
in
God,
the
I'm still
slightest,
trying to figure out if I'm going to do it. That's why I haven't watched it yet. But.
Yeah, but it like the fight scenes in this, because slight spoiler alert, there are fight scenes in K-pop Demon Hunters, blah blah. But the dynamics of it reminds me a lot of this, you know, absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema.
Oh, here comes the big boy.
You have no idea.
Oh, did it punch her?
So that's a new variant.
Is that a gorilla?
Yeah!
It has one eye.
Imagine slicing through every enemy in the area, and then you go and it just embeds. The weapon that has cleaved through a dozen Grim already in the last 2 minutes like hot butter, now just embeds in his side.
1 HP damage, bro.
You with Flowey.
Falcon, punch off. The eye effect is so cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, there we go. He's throwing Grim at her. My God. Game over. She's not that easily defeated.
You ready for this, Cass?
I'm ready. Oh? Oh?
Her pedal effect doesn't have to be used at max speed. She has the ability to just do that.
That's no, like surely she's the Summer Maiden. Like that. I don't know. I don't know. The music. What a shot!
Across the moon. I'm sorry, actually, not to immediately pause again. There's something I need to bring up, which is, look, he's ready to catch her again. She learned her lesson. She stops her own momentum and then uses it to get behind him.
And grabs the legs using the gun as momentum. Boom to She's making a fucking tornado with oh my god!
Welcome to Volume 4, brother. We so back.
Ruby, we saw smoke. Heading your way.
Don't start without us.
She finished.
You better hurry.
Oh, there's more, of course.
Yeah, she's not done. That, sir, is Volume 4.
God.
But,
dude,
not everyone.
Oh. She looks great. Oh, buddy. Hello.
And that
Nightmare
is Volume 4.
Oh my god, dude. So, for real, mega honestly.
Yes.
I was like, okay, if Volume 3 is the peakest of RWBY in so many eyes, my expectations for Volume 4, and then they open with this?
Yep.
Yeah, no. Oh my goodness gracious,
like
this could be fire.
Remember what I said about Volume 4 is a phenomenal first season of a new story.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously the fight scenes are peak. Volume 4 is slow. Once we actually get to it, it's slow. But when it's not slow, it's as good as RWBY ever is. It's still really good. And Volume 4, I don't know if you saw the edit, is Soul's favorite volume. Fun fact.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Hi, Soul. Say hello.
Hello.
Good job. You did it. Yes. One is very small thing. Actually, no, I think I'll say that. This is going to be a long enough video. I'll say that in the intro for Volume 4 when we actually do the pilot, because we still have 4 more left. We have 4 World of Remnants, specifically Vale, Mistral, Atlas, Vacuo.
The cities!
The kingdoms.
My god. The kingdom, sorry. Yes, sorry.
Well, it's a little confusing because Atlas is the capital and the thing, but for all those other 4, that's the name of, like, the area, the country, the kingdom. But yes, as we are now expanding the story beyond Beacon after what is generally called and considered the fall of Beacon, we are now going to learn a little bit more about the rest of the world before this story expands beyond Beacon and Vale for the first time. So, let's see what it
Remnants.
is. Oh, great. You can cut that out, so.
2016. Wow, holy let's get tickets. Vale. Is Ospen gonna narrate?
Well, school's definitely out.
No.
Okay, that's...
We can all learn a little something.
But the man who holds his staff will.
Remnant. Not the best place to live, but depending on where you're staying, it can get a little easier.
What's up?
What? That just clocked. The world is the world of Remnant. That's like Earth. I just clocked that.
Casper, what have you been doing for 3 volumes? Clearly not paying attention.
There's a dragon.
You've got towns and villages that pop up as fast as they fall. The faunas have menagerie, but the sweet spots are Vale, Mistral, Atlas, and Vacuo.
There was a really important bit of world building there that I don't know if you fully caught.
Like that some of the buildings
menagerie.
Displayed. What does menagerie mean?
Look at what's highlighted. Look at the bottom right.
That
bottom right island is not one of the kingdoms.
Oh.
The faunas have... I hate that you're kind of right, but...
Towns and villages that pop up.
So yeah, pay attention to what this says here, because this is...
Faunas have menagerie, but the sweet spots are Vale, Mistral, Atlas, and Vacuo.
So, those are the 4 kingdoms, which means the Dragon Continent is unoccupied, quote unquote, and then that bottom right one is apparently the Faunus have.
What? The island between Vacuo. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Was that highlighted when?
Good question. No,
it's not.
Interesting.
So that's okay. That's my island.
That's where Casper lives.
America Core.
Modern era, and each one's special in its own little way. Let's talk about Vale.
Hell yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, Vale's pretty well guarded. Rests on the northeastern end of the world's largest continent, Sanus. Like most successful kingdoms, Vale's survival over the years can mostly be attributed to prime real estate.
Nice.
Protected by steep mountains, and its back is against waters too shallow for any real threat to pop out of.
Oh, okay, that's not what I thought he meant by that.
What?
I thought it was like a New York situation.
Oh.
It's so expensive to live there, just take money.
Gotcha. No. As in, like, the actual thing. But also,
right, yeah.
Can we talk about the grimplications? I just came up with that. Of this specific sentence, though. Water's too shallow for any real threat to pop out of. So what's coming out of somewhere else? What's in the deeper waters?
Not to say
whales.
I haven't heard some crazy fish stories. Aside from the main city, which the kingdom's named after, the Vale territory also extends to several neighboring cities farther along the northwest coastline, as well as a small island named Patch.
Okay.
It's a place to raise a family, if you're into that sort of thing. Of course,
Interesting.
all attempts to extend the kingdom's reach past the mountains and farther into the mainland have been colossal failures.
Like the one from Volume 2.
But,
Yep.
like I said, in the grand scheme of things, Vale ain't half bad. Regular climate, natural barriers, and some serious border defenses means the citizens of Vale can spend less time worrying about survival and more time just living their lives.
Nice.
Day by day.
With the fall of Beacon, everyone's a little more worried these days.
True.
And they should be.
Any specific thoughts on Vale before we hit Mistral?
No, but I do have one thing that I just realized. So Beacon has fallen. Did they didn't complete their school, like the RWBY, like no, they didn't complete their schools, right? Weren't they just like
Not at
first
all.
years or second
Yeah,
years?
first
yeah,
years.
Yeah.
Or they were
Damn.
in their second year.
Yeah.
Like they
Out
had
of-
completed out of 4. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They had completed, I believe Soul, I'm sure will fact check me. I believe they had completed their completed their first year, but they were like barely into their second year. I think the tournament's towards the beginning of the year, if I remember correctly. But I also might not be. So fact check me and make me look silly.
Mistrial.
Right. Where were we?
Stop drinking, man.
The east of Sanus is...
Yeah, stop going to the alcohol and instead go to some delicious Gilded Tiefling tea. GildedTiefling.com. Use code RELAX, my friend.
largest landmass, Anima. That's where you'll find the kingdom of Mistral. Of the 4 kingdoms, Mistral has the most controlled territory, meaning you'll find a wider variety of ecosystems and lifestyles.
Okay.
This place is something for everyone, for better or worse. The high society folks of Mistral are known worldwide for their contributions to fashion, architecture, theater, all the things that make the world pretty and tolerable.
Nice.
This lower class has got a fame of its own. Mistral's home to the biggest black market on the planet.
Interesting.
It's hard to find. Got someone that's hard to kill. They can help. Provided you got the Lien to pay for it.
Lien.
One common thread that links all these people together, though.
Grim?
And that's their respect for nature. Particularly
So pessimistic. No, I'm kidding.
The natural resources and geography of the area impacted Mistral's culture and technology in a big way. Its first settlers found shelter high up in the wind-carved cliffs, and as their population grew, so did their ability to utilize the land to its fullest potential.
And that's why they have the most controlled land, as he was kind of talking about earlier. Obviously, the other kingdoms are constantly having to fight Grimm, but they have figured out how to use the architecture to their advantage. Not to say they don't have Grimm issues still, but...
A bunch of forward thinkers. Of course, the bigger the kingdom, the harder it is to govern. There's a reason traders and thieves flock to Mistral. Main city's right under the council's eye, sure, but places like Windpath and Kuchinashi start to get a little farther out of sight. There's plenty of places to hide in Mistral.
There's plenty of places to hide in Mistral.
That's why
gotcha.
you know where to look.
Oh.
Bum, bum, bum. Anything specific for that one? All good? Awesome. Atlas, let's do it.
I suppose it's time we talked about the fine people at the top of the world.
Richmond, north of Richmond.
Atlas is Remnant's youngest and arguably most successful kingdom.
Youngest
It's a
kingdom.
bit of a special case.
Interesting.
See, before the Great War, there was no Atlas. There was Mantle. At some point in time, a group of settlers were crazy enough to venture out into the northernmost continent of Solitas. I guess when you're that desperate, a frozen hunk of rock doesn't seem like such a bad place to call home. As a matter of fact, the harsh weather conditions proved to be just as useful as the mountain ranges when it came to keeping the creatures of Grim at bay.
He just
Kept
freeze.
the people of Mantle from flourishing. Humanity's got a neat trick up its sleeve, though.
They went underground?
Faced with a problem, our inclination is to find a solution.
Interesting.
The cold climate of Solitas forced its settlers to adapt.
The dust?
They developed a more advanced technology, and they did it faster than the rest of the world. Because they had to survive. But it was the Great War that really kicked things off.
So part of the reason they became such a forefront of technology was because it was necessary. They couldn't have survived without it. It was the whole concept of like suffering breeds innovation.
New forms of dust application and weaponry allowed Mantle to expand. More and more territory was set aside for dust mining and research.
Makes sense.
The territory beside the kingdom's combat school, Alceus, was the most opportune area to construct a new R&D facility. But by the time things were all said and done, it would be much, much more. Alceus was reopened as Atlas after the Great War to house many of the warriors now seeking guidance. In an effort to give back to the citizens, Mantle applied all sorts of new dust techniques and technologies it had used in the war to beef up the Academy's campus. The school grounds expanded faster than they could have imagined, and even helped to better secure the surrounding areas. It wasn't long before the kingdom's military moved in.
And there it is.
Labs and research facilities, and eventually even residential areas started popping up.
Right.
And so we've got something kind of interesting here, which is this figure in front who we recognize. Do you recognize the one next to him?
Isn't that Schnee's father? We saw him on the plane.
Yes, we did.
In time, it became apparent that the city of Mantle was living in Atlas' shadow. And so the decision was made to move the kingdom's capital. Mantle was old news, and the kingdom of Atlas was born. A golden age of prosperity, they called it. But those left behind in Mantle would probably tell you that it was the coldest winter they ever knew.
Nightmare.
Vacuo. Last but not
Vacuo.
least.
Now, if there's one kingdom that's had it harder than the people of Mantle, it's Vacuo, the last of the four great kingdoms. The western end of Sanus is a barren and desolate wasteland. But long ago, before man went and ruined everything, it was a paradise. In the center of the vast desert was an oasis unlike anything you'd ever seen. A jungle bursting with natural resources, geographical defenses, and the world's largest recorded deposit of dust.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
The journey across the scorching sands settled down in this little hidden gem, and over time the kingdom of Vacuo thrived. Unfortunately, comfort breeds weakness. While the rest of Remnant had to learn and adapt in order to survive, Vacuo's ancient society kicked back and lived a life of complacency. But when other, more developed kingdoms set their eyes on everything Vacuo had, its citizens couldn't do anything to stop them from taking it. Years of human conflict, unrestricted mining, and ecological disasters have changed Vacuo. The paradise that was once there is practically indistinguishable.
Schnee company all over it, man.
Citizens live in makeshift homes, uprooting and traveling frequently in response to the fleeting resources and occasional attacks from the creatures of Grimm. After the Great War, a formal government was finally established. But by that point, the folks living in Vacuo didn't much care to uphold its laws, making Shade Academy the only real source of order in the kingdom.
Shade Academy.
Order isn't everything. Vacuo may not be as prim and proper as the other three kingdoms, but it's still standing. And the people there have a mutual respect for one another. See, there's really only one unspoken rule in Vacuo.
The funness.
You can survive here, then you're welcome here.
Oh, okay.
So
I love
there
that.
you have it. Vale, Mistral, Atlas, and Vacuo. You know, Oz would always say that the four kingdoms were a representation of what mankind is capable of when working together. Ever the optimist. We sure could use him now.
Yeah. He's
And
been tortured.
that, sir, is everything we had leading up to Volume 4. Any specific thoughts? I know that was a lot. We got a lot of good information. We got a cool fight scene. We learned about the Maidens. That was this recording session. That feels like it was a week ago. But, yeah, we learned a lot. Any thoughts, any theories, anything to share?
I love world building so much, and RWBY does it so well. Like,
Definitely.
oh my god, I love this. Absolute.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad we're continuing through Volume 4. And speaking of which, that is what we're going to get to now, which means if you're watching this episode, Volume 4 is already up on Patreon, at least the first episode, if not more beyond that. Otherwise, once this comes out, we are still figuring out exactly what the schedule is going to be, but in either 1 or 2 weeks from this episode, we will get RWBY Volume 4, Episode 1 on YouTube, and then every Tuesday after that. I think I said Wednesday at one point. I don't know my own schedule. We make too much content. Thank you all very much for being here. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, the names scrolling to the side of the screen. As always, greet the world with open arms, and we'll see you very soon for Volume 4. Bye.
Unsalutations.